So thank you all, and thank you for inviting me to talk about some of the students' perspective in why we need to implement the Sustainable Development Goals in medical education. So why do we need to implement? Well, in a sustainable future, healthcare is central to both achieve it and sustain it. And the scope of sustainability needs to be met with new ways of thinking and inspire the generation now to be the leaders of tomorrow, as also Ole Petter said. Today's education lacks the necessary element of thinking ahead to see beyond the horizon. And we are teaching how to be good healthcare professionals for today's problem, but not for the future. And actually, soon we will educate the doctor who will be working into the 22nd century. And we need to think how that future would be. And that kind of preparation needs to begin now and not post-mortem. Healthcare sustainability are closely interlinked. Health and sustainability are closely interlinked. And it's a prerequisite to achieve a just and fair future. And it helps to see the needs of the foundation of a good global health. Therefore, the way to achieve these goals lies in thinking of how health is a fundamental aspect. And these aspects are easy enough to understand, but it's difficult to achieve. And I believe that we cannot just lean back on the thought that we have the knowledge. We also need the actions as well to achieve it. So by implementing these SDGs in medical education, we will be able to early see the broader picture from one's education. We will be able to see links between different aspects in one education and be critical of how our education backs and contributes to these goals. We will be able to be enlightened in the context of the huge knowledge that we acquire in our studies, but also be able to form our own opinions based on past knowledge in light of today's challenges, and be able to form and contribute to the necessary development. And by introducing it to all students, transdisciplinary action are possible. And we can make sure that all profession has the same outcome and outlook. And we can make a greater effort for the need for transdisciplinary work by understanding each other and see each other education aspects. And I hope we will be able to see new connections and perspective by working together. And actually, by starting now, new ways are even possible to help us. We can be able to better meet these challenges, to make changes early for maximize the impact, and push forward the need for new innovative solutions to tomorrow's problem. And as a student, I also have some hopes for the new center. I wanted to be a hub for interdisciplinary and transdisciplinary education, and understand that solutions to these huge challenges lies in betweens of the professions, and to help create new ways of teaching by having teacher and student working together. And what I probably think is the most important is to inspire students and help them see how their profession can have an impact beyond the scopes of today's limitation. And when I was asked to give a brief presentation, I actually Googled teaching SDGs, and I came across a site launched by the UN, which is called teachsdgs.org. And there, I hope that many of you listening today are engaged in teaching these goals. And by now you can take part in a huge network by going to teachsdgs.org and be what they call an ambassadors for teaching these SDGs and be a part of a better future. And we are used to taking care of people, but let's also start being taught how to take care of the world. And Now Tiril will take over and talk about how the students are key to achieving these goals.
Thank you. Okay, as you heard Vebjørn say and the other presenters, implementation of the SDGs in health education is important. But for SHE, it's not just important that we do it, but also how we do it. And the Faculty of Medicine at the University of Oslo is fortunate enough to have students with really strong sense of commitment. It's a highly engaged student mass, and I think that the student mass and their commitment is one of the faculty's greatest resources. And because of this, and the fact that it's today's youth that will form the society of the future, SHE systematically involves the students throughout the work of the center. While I was a student, I was lucky enough to be a part of the process with writing the application for DQ grant, together with Kristin, Eivind, and Elin Rosvold. And when working on the application, I felt that I was not there just so they could check out the student involvement box. I was there because they genuinely wanted to hear the thoughts of students. And today, students are represented in the board of SHE. They are contributing to the communication work, and this work package on student involvement is student-led. And in many other aspects, the students are a key actor. And another vital contribution from the students was their participation in related to the DQ's site visit. In that process and in the application process, we gathered a group of students and asked them to share their ideas on how a DQ grant could empower students and raise awareness of the SDGs role in education. The outcome of this work was that we now offer scholarships to student-driven projects. And our student group had many ideas on how we could make these projects, what the result of them could be, and these ideas were really, really cool. So now, every semester, the center will announce scholarship for projects related to healthcare and education and the SDGs. And these are open for the students at the faculty to apply for. All projects has to be anchored academically, and this is to ensure that the standard of academic quality are met in the projects, but also to establish collaboration between the student and the teachers. In this way, SHE empowers students to play an active role in the development of education, as well as giving them the opportunity to explore aspects of health and the SDGs that they find interesting. So we have already awarded the first round of scholarships. We did that this spring, and you will hear more about one of these projects after the break. So when working with SHE, it's been a bubbling student commitment, and it has been really inspiring to be a part of. And in SHE, we want to use this student momentum to spread their engagement among the employees at the faculty as well, and in a broader aspect. And we are convinced that the students are a key factor in realizing the vision of the center. And that is why SHE systematically involves students throughout all the work of the center. Thank you.